Nice job, high forward.
One shot, one kill. Ronnie did.
Now introducing your BudHole podcast, Scott, the Great Brandino, Gage's Rage, and Star Lamont.
What's up, girl?
Lights on you.
Share your
Love the
screen.
BudHole.
Who doesn't love the BudHole? Welcome to the official BudHole Mock 2.0. We're getting an echo.
That's how we're rolling.
And the question is, what happens when you put a bunch of idiots in front of a live stream?
This.
Technical difficulties,
This
but here we
right
are.
here. It's better than any Madden game we've tried to play.
We're live. We're rolling.
We haven't played Madden games in at least a month. Scott.
Scott's fault.
It just happens, you guys. All right, let's stay on track here. Let's stay with the mock draft. Let's not talk about Madden right now.
It's what the people
Exactly.
came for. The mock draft 2.0.
I'm going to deflect like Bisaki right now. We'll circle back on that. But for now, we're here for the mock draft. Isn't that what you guys want to hear about?
I'm excited for the mock draft. Yeah, we've been kind of teasing it for a while. Scott was out pooping himself last week, and now here we are, finally ready to rock and roll.
How is the stomach, by the way?
It's to be honest, it's still a little bit not all the way back yet.
Still,
So
I feel like we're sitting too close together.
no, I'm healthy, but my stomach's still a little weird.
Fair enough.
Not fun with the stomach bug.
Just get a little bit farther away from him. We're okay.
Yeah,
we're
you wanted me to scoot closer before this all started.
we're
Actually.
3 feet
Well, that's
away.
because then I can
We
just
can
lean in for a
Have
kiss
you
gauge.
scoot forward.
I'm
We'll
stuck.
move away.
I'll take it all.
That-
I'll take all them
You have a good immune system.
stomach germs. True that.
With this 32 pick mock draft gauge, you're gonna probably want at least 8 kisses from me after every single pick I make. You're just gonna be like, that's a great pick. Get over here.
You're gonna be kissing me. I don't know where you draft, but I think I'm first.
You are first in this.
And are
Okay.
we under? We are not allowed to trade these picks, right?
No trades.
Nope.
That's
No.
why we waited. We knew last week there's going to be massive trades. So we waited for 2.0 for this week, right?
The butthole doesn't believe in trades in a mock draft. In the NFL draft, let the trades happen.
Yeah. We can't
Absolutely.
predict that.
And there
though.
were
They're
a
going to
few
be
trades.
wild.
Yeah.
Although we're all qualified for the most part, besides Gage, to be GMs in the NFL, we're not going to
Why?
make
Because
those
Madden
trades.
can beat me. I'm not qualified.
You got to know the
I still whoop
teams
that ass in Madden.
and
So
the divisions.
in one division, you're on. That's the only one that matters, man. And I can 3 other names, man. I got that.
Well, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the Blue Collar Media Group. As you can see their
BCMG.
comment here at the bottom. Who doesn't love the BudHole? Everybody loves the BudHole. So thank you guys for tuning in. We are ready to get going. We split up responsibilities here. We're taking every 4 picks,
Yep.
and we gave Gage's Rage the opening pick. He has got pick number 1, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are on the clock.
Exactly. And they are not wasting any time taking Trevor Lawrence. It's a done deal. It's absolutely going to happen. Easiest pick in the whole draft.
Have you seen any other mock drafts that have a different pick?
No.
If they do, they're just going for the talking.
Shock.
Clickbait?
Yeah.
Chris Sims, he wanted to take Zach Wilson over Trevor Lawrence.
That is true. He did have one that
Thought he
was
was
the case
better.
on.
Doesn't
That's
even
true.
matter.
Not even
Their
close.
pro days were really great, and they're going to be drafted high. Other quarterbacks, I think it's going to be really heavy in the QB early, but not in the first pick. It's Trevor Lawrence, without a doubt.
Well, why don't you go ahead and select him on there?
Oh, yeah.
Take Trevor Lawrence, number 1, as you guys can see on the screen here. And number 2 is now on the clock. We have the New York Jets, and Scott is making this pick.
So this is the mock draft of. I'm going to be honest. I think that the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson, but if I'm the Jets, I wouldn't. But I also one of my hall passes is Sam Darnold, so I'm a little bit biased. So
How
I'm going
many
to go
do you
Zach
have?
Wilson here. I have multiple,
Adam Sandler.
a few dozen.
Adam Sandler, not cut gems.
Just as Hubie Halloween.
Batista, Bradley Cooper, Zach Efron, depending on the day, how many drinks I've had.
Do you need to have any?
No, not at all.
Fair.
That's the rule. He has to be sober.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
fair.
We're going
another
Zach
one is
Wilson.
mine is Sam Darnold. I'm going to go Zach Wilson here. I think the Jets, I think Zach Wilson has done enough for the Jets to be like, all right, Let's go with Wilson. Restart on the rebuild here. If I'm the Jets, though, I would trade this pick. But the 49ers reached out to them and offered, I'm assuming what they offered Miami, and the Jets clearly didn't take it. So I think the Jets are going to take Zach Wilson, and we're on to pick number 3.
I do believe Mel Kiper came out and said that Sam Darnold would be the second best quarterback in this draft. So
I know,
and I think he would too.
Kiper and who's the other? Todd McShay. I think they do a lot together, right? I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure those are the two. They're on
the ESPNs.
Yeah, I think so.
They have a
411
draft
Network.
podcast with Field Yates. They're both big on Sam Darnold yet. They don't think his time's over. They think he still has a lot, to offer. He's just been given a bad situation to start out with the Jets. So they're big on keeping him, but
That's
I
a
think-
fair. I personally think this pick is traded.
This is the question you ask yourself, though.
but to who? Carolina?
This
Carolina is a really good one, but
This is the thing, though,
It's
Gage
all
is rage.
drafty
If
craziness.
the Jets didn't take the offer that San Francisco was offering, you have to think one of two things. They're either holding out for a better offer, which you're not going to get much better, or number 2, they have a quarterback that they want. That's the only two options, really.
both of them are going to be good for the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Well, either way, we move on to pick number 3, the Niners, which moved up from pick number 12. They traded quite a bit. What was it? A first round, third round, and 2 future first rounds. So they traded 12 and 2 future firsts to move up from 12 to 3 with the Dolphins.
Yep.
8
And,
spots. I mean, or 9 spots. Yeah, 9 spots.
Yeah,
That's
9.
a lot to pay. But to get to the number 3 pick, they must be really confident in all these guys.
Well, there's a lot of rumors going on now that they didn't go to Justin Fields' pro day. They went to Mac Jones instead. There's a lot of smoke that Mac Jones might be taken at number 3. Shanahan's starting to fall in love with them. I got into a little bit of a Twitter beef with some guy telling me that they think it's primed to trade up and take Sewell. I told him he was an idiot.
Did you tell them that they just signed a left tackle to the largest contract that a left tackle has ever signed?
Why would they take Sewell?
I told him that, and he's like, you know what? He's a generational talent, and they're going to just put him in a spot that works. I said, you don't trade the house in the future to get a guy to just put him in where it fits.
Who
You
else
don't-
have we been hearing as a generational talent besides Lawrence and now I guess Sewell? We've been hearing that Kyle Pitts is a generational tight end.
Ooh.
Most of the people are saying he's the best tight end prospect since.
They've
I don't-
ever seen.
So what? Are we just going to say, oh, well, Kyle Pitts would make sense? They'll just put him in a spot that's going to work.
You don't trade up that much. You don't trade up in the first round that far to not take your quarterback.
Yeah.
They're going after a quarterback. I think it's smoke and mirrors with Mac Jones. I'm going to go with North Dakota State alumni Trey Lance. Let's
Boom.
put it on the board.
The guy who
Trey
we'll give a little teaser here. NFL draft scout Matt Waldman's going to be coming on the podcast in the coming month or so.
Woo.
I think
He
2
said
weeks.
Nice.
Trey Lance has the ability to be the best quarterback in this class if everything goes right for him. And that includes Trevor Lawrence. He's got all the intangibles,
Who
but
better
he's
to-
also the biggest project.
Who better to pair him with than Shanahan?
They compared this to the RG3 trade. Said 12 years later, he does it for himself. His
Do you
dad
think-
did it for RG3? Now he's doing it for his quarterback.
Yeah.
This could be a phase, but could they bring back the pistol with that they used to run that got them to the NFC Championship?
For sure they could.
Trey Lance would run it pretty damn well.
Yeah.
And they have a solid running game already. I mean, what a situation to sit behind Garoppolo if they don't trade him. I mean,
And another thing is for the 49ers, remember, they got a lot of expensive players on that team. The best way to keep those guys is to get a quarterback on a rookie contract.
Yeah, they'll get Trey Lance. They'll have a good rookie season, tears ACL in the playoffs. They're also going to draft Kyle Trask in the 3rd round. He's going to take over and become the mediocre quarterback of the Vikings in the future.
And he'll eventually get
Yeah.
franchise tagged for 2 years straight and then
Mhm.
go to Minnesota.
I love
Calling
it.
now.
I love it. Well, now Star Lamar's on the clock. He is the GM of the Atlanta Falcons.
And no one was more happier of that Trey Lance pick than the Atlanta Falcons because they get their hometown boy, Justin Fields. He's going to sit behind Matt Ryan for at least a season, but he's the future there. They should have been rebuilding for the last couple of years. They haven't really been. He's the start of the rebuild. Justin Fields, 4 quarterbacks.
My question to you, and I got into another Twitter argument, I guess you can say.
Yeah,
with
you got
somebody.
some Twitter fingers, Brandon.
I do. I'm not afraid to tell people how I feel. Okay. Do you think that Justin Fields or Trey Lance is more of a dual threat quarterback?
Trey Lance hasn't played that much. He has the ability to do it all, but he's got a season under him. So I've seen more out of Fields, but I think Fields is going to want to pass the ball in the pocket. He's not immediately thinking about running the ball. I've said it since day one. I'm a Fields apologist. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. I think he's going to be a steal at 4 for the Falcons.
And do you think Atlanta is the best possible destination for him outside of the top 3?
So I watched the QB1 show that he was on, and his family's from the area, and they seem like they're a great family, and it's going to be really nice to have that support there for him, I think. I think that's a pretty solid situation.
I think Carolina is a team, too, that could make the move up to get him.
And that's assuming that the Falcons are content on hanging on to Matt Ryan for one more year.
Correct.
And to trade in the division, man, that would cost Carolina quite a bit.
That's fair.
If I'm Atlanta, I almost don't do it.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
just not by the off chance that Carolina does draft their franchise quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years, I don't do that if I'm Atlanta. I'm not throwing them a bone.
Pick 5.
That's going to come back to me.
Gage's Rage. Yep, that's right.
We got the Bengals, and I think they're looking at their number 1 pick last year in Joe Burrow and really thinking about how they help him. The tackle situation is all right there. Penei Sewell would definitely be a solid pick. But I think they kind of go... It's my team. I'm the GM. So I'm going to pair...
Oh, fuck.
I am making the calls
Strap
here now.
in.
I'm
Strap in.
pairing my quarterback with one of his favorite targets at LSU, Jamar Chase, taking the first wide receiver off the board, replacing AJ Green. I know Penei Sewell would be a solid pick, but I got to get weapons. It's a fantasy football league anyway.
That's the right move, I think.
There's
Give me
rumors that that's the reason Philadelphia traded out of 6.
I fucked up. How do I reset this? How do I reset this?
The most unsurprising thing Gage has ever said.
I double clicked. I'm sorry.
Just hit pause just hit restart draft on the top, right
And just
above
make
the ad.
picks. You're lucky that we're this close into it.
Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. Sorry about that.
Can you
listeners.
remember 5 picks?
Yeah, it's been all quarterbacks.
Well, how
since
do
my
you know
pick.
that I wasn't going to take Jalen Waddle with pick 6?
I may have spoke for you. I'm sorry, Scott.
I feel like now I can.
No, you should.
You
still
should
can.
now.
No.
Now you definitely should take.
I
him
think-
at pick 6.
I think Miami with pick 6 is. We'll wait for Gage to get caught up, but I'm thinking they're going to go Kyle Pitts, tight end.
Ooh. Didn't
And
they just re-signed Mike Gesicki?
they did, but I think that if they were to draft Kyle Pitts and put him in that offense, I think they got a very good offense going.
And it was Wilson.
So they would have Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, Kyle Pitts, Mike Gesicki, Myles Gaskin, Tua. A lot of weapons for him.
Yeah.
You can't make excuses if he's doing that. Plus, I mean, we just mentioned a little bit ago that the Dolphins traded down to 12. They also traded back up to get to the 6th spot. So they're looking to get a playmaker. They're definitely going to take one of those guys. I think Pitts is a solid option.
Yeah, I love Kyle Pitts, and
Do you love him or do you love him?
Is he going to be a hall pass?
yeah, for sure.
Do you have to swap them out?
No, I just keep adding.
You just keep adding?
Yeah.
Unlimited hall pass.
Yeah, well, not unlimited. It's just if the situation is right and the love is great enough, they get added to the list.
Is Penei Sewell a guy that could switch over to the right side?
He could play guard too, but he's
Okay.
he's going to be a tackle, I think.
Yeah, you're going to draft him to play left tackle. That's another reason why the Niners aren't going to trade up to take him, because they're not going to trade up to get. You don't pick a right tackle at 3 overall.
No.
The first lineman that's going to go, it's going to be a left tackle. That's the biggest position in football. That's who you're looking to protect your guys.
I
That's
was
what
just
you're
curious with the only lefty in the league. You want the solid right tackle. You know, the only other side.
Yeah, no, you could swing Penei over to the right tackle. And honestly, he'd be an okay pick for the Dolphins, but he's not a sexy pick.
Yeah.
So, and plus, the Dolphins also pick at 18. There should be a tackle available there or a guard.
They
That's
have,
where they got Austin Jackson last year.
Yeah,
what do they have? 6 first-round picks in the next 3 years?
yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh, they
Because
traded,
they traded
to move
the
up.
one.
Yep. So 5. But
So
do you think these guys really believe in Tua this year, all in with getting Kyle Pitts and more offensive weapons?
They clearly believe in him enough to give him another year and get him. This is good. What Miami's doing with Tua, in my opinion, is what Cleveland did with Baker Mayfield. They're going to give him all the weapons in the world, every chance to succeed. And if it doesn't work out, they have the draft capital to make a move to get a guy they do like in a year or two if it
Take
really
some
doesn't
shots.
work. So, yeah.
All right.
And again, like Scott said, if at least I wasn't really listening, but
You were just waiting for your turn to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he said it, but they have the opportunity in the next 2 drafts to take a guy. I don't think next year is that solid at quarterback from what I've heard.
Correct.
It's
Yep.
okay, but possibly in 2 years there could be a guy and they could be taking another top 10 pick or have 2 picks to trade up to
Go all
get
in.
somebody in the top 10. So
Correct.
give Tua everything you can to make him succeed now. If it doesn't work out, you're going to go back on a rookie contract quarterback. You can still put the pieces around him and hopefully make up for it then.
Pick number 7.
Dolphins on the clock. Dolphins off the clock. Lions on the clock.
Yep.
Here we go. Pick number 7. Oh man, the Lions. I mean, they do need a wide receiver. They lost 3 of them in free agency. Who was it? Sanu, Galladay, Marvin Jones. They all left. I think Amendola left as well, or he's a free agent currently. So they definitely need a playmaker. But I know Dan Campbell personally. He's a good guy. Good guy, WWE style guy. He wants to bite some kneecaps, and he wants a player. He wanted to, but I kicked him down. He stayed down. He didn't get back up and bite no kneecaps. So I think they're going to take a guy that is going to be a kneecap biter, and they're going to go defensive side of the ball. They're going to take Micah Parsons.
God damn it.
I've had him slated there for a while. I think he's a good fit for that team. He's fast. He's athletic. He's got a few off the field concerns, but he checks all the boxes on the field as a linebacker that you're looking for. I think Parsons is a solid pick at 7 for him and the type of player they're looking for.
Carolina's upset.
That's
Carolina had him penciled in there after a couple Pitts was off the board.
That's why you don't write in pen.
Yeah, I got an eraser.
I would have traded with you.
I think, there's not another linebacker that's worthy of a top 10 pick as far as playing in the middle and stuff like that.
Excuse me.
So they're going to go defensive back. Patrick Surtain is the best cornerback in this draft.
You think so?
I do.
I agree.
So I think they're going to take him first cornerback off the board at 8 to Carolina. That defense needs help, especially in the back end of it. They did have the rookie last year who was Shine, but he kind of is a safety linebacker hybrid. So they get some help at cornerback.
I think Surtain he's the most pro-ready cornerback right now, in my opinion. I like Farley a little bit better though.
The thing is,
He's
though,
got
between those
issues.
two,
Yeah.
Farley?
Health
Yeah.
issues or what?
I think
Minor back.
Yeah.
He missed his pro day today. But I saw his unofficial 40 time.
4.28.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's got some speed.
Blazing speed. The guy, he can make plays. He's everything you're looking for in a prospect. If you have some guys that can help out around him, I think he's going to be better than Surtain in the long run.
And like the Panthers, the Denver Broncos are equally upset. Surtain was absolutely a great cornerback, and I think they're looking for the same position. So now we're talking about those guys. Joe Horn's son, JC Horn, or Farley. I think Farley would be a reach here. So I think they go back-to-back cornerbacks and snag JC Horn. The Gamecock.
Oh, is there going to be a run?
We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, I think
that's
They
interesting.
could easily go offensive tackle to protect the boy Drew, but I think they're looking at defense and some old guys. They're on their way out.
You're
I'm
John
the
Elway.
GM.
Yep. It's your team. It's your choice. I don't know. JC Horn is definitely moving up draft boards, in my opinion. I do think Surtain and Farley are the 1 and 2, like tier 1A. And then 1B is going to be JC Horn. His pro day was really good. Like a 4.35.
Yeah,
41 and a half inch vertical.
His size, yeah, it's crazy.
Physical, not afraid to make a tackle.
Coming down from the NFL heritage too.
I'm not going to bash you for it.
You can't. It's
You're
my
the
team. So
GM.
get out of
You're
here.
the GM.
the Dallas Cowboys with pick 10 are running up to the podium and they're submitting their pick, who is another cornerback, Caleb Farley.
Ooh, they do go on a run.
And they are ecstatic about it.
Is Farley?
He's down around 30. Keep going
Really,
down.
he's down that far on their draft board.
29.
That's interesting. like I said, I like Farley a lot. I think he would have been better on the Broncos because they just got Kyle Fuller. They got Justin Simmons. They signed Ronald Darby. I think those would have been 3 good guys to help mold him into being a number 1 cornerback by the time Fuller starts to step down. But I mean, I like him on the Cowboys too. Just another great player on a team of mediocrity.
And I'm sure Jerry loves that speed, that 4.28. He'd love to have it. He'd glow it to everyone.
You know the Raiders were calling the Cowboys about moving up to get him at pick 10. Just after that 40, Gruden was all about that.
Yep.
I think there's a guy a fast guy they're looking to take at, where they at 17, I think is what it is.
Ooh, a little bit of a sneak peek.
It's possible. I don't know if I have him or not. I might. I don't
That
remember. I
defensive
sent out the
lineman that
list
had
of who everybody's
4-3?
drafting, and
You don't even know your own.
I
teams.
paid no attention to who I had. I was
So
like,
the point was preparation.
Yeah,
An ounce of
I know.
preparation is better than a pound of something. We had this conversation.
This is true. We'll get into that on the bit.
I thought, yeah, never mind.
All right, here we go. Pick number 11, New York Football Giants.
Oh yeah, Giants are up. I'm the Giants, and we are sitting here. Man, see, this is where preparation would have been a good thing. I think they're going to take Jalen Waddle. They're going to get another playmaker, help out. They have Kenny Galladay.
That is nuts. That's just adding to that offense. I don't blame him.
They want to give Daniel Jones the best chance he can get. Kenny Galladay, Saquon Barkley. If Evan Ingram can figure out his hands, find him at least, not drop the ball. Jalen Waddle. They still have Slayton and Sterling Shepard. I think one of those guys could get cut before the season, and they're going to be rolling with some very good playmakers.
Golden Tate's on his way out too, right?
He's gone.
He's gone already.
He's free agent.
He's got some issues.
Eagles, very surprised to see a couple solid tackles on the board here. But their biggest downfall of the last couple seasons, I think, has been their playmakers. I think they go with the Heisman winner, Devonta Smith here. They would have rather had Waddle, but I feel like the theme of tonight has been people picking who I wanted right before me, but that's how the draft goes.
I'm in your head.
Is that this year's Justin Jefferson? The Heisman winner, but the 4th or 3rd wide receiver?
No,
I
he's
don't
going
know.
to Philly.
Probably not.
They
But, I mean,
totally
he did
missed
play
it.
with Jalen Hurts in Alabama. He
No,
was there that long. so-
I know. I'm just Philadelphia has had very bad luck at drafting wide receivers lately. That's all I'm trying
Yeah,
to say.
Rager was
And
horrible.
there might have been a small portion of me that wanted to drop one of those tackles to the Vikings. So whoever has them, you're welcome.
Oh, the Vikings they have 2 cards right now, and they're going to run up to the podium with one of them.
Is there any concern with the Eagles taking Jalen Rager? He's not a big guy, is he? He's not very
No,
tall.
he's
a
only like
burner.
6 foot
Probably
tall.
6 foot, yeah.
So you have a burner 6 foot, and then you have another guy. He's what, 5'10"?
Devonta.
Yeah, or 5'9".
He's taller but skinny.
Click on his draft profile.
He's 6'1".
Yeah, he's
6'1".
just really skinny.
Okay.
175.
He's the guy that people are worried about because his frame is
His
so
size, yeah, he's small.
slender. Yeah. But for
Okay.
God's sakes,
Mm.
people said that about Jefferson too. That was a knock on Jefferson coming into the draft, as he was really lanky. But when the dude put pads on, he looked like a football player.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Same with Devonta.
So I think just like the Vikings, you're looking at 2 solid tackles here. We're going to go very stock and take Penei Sewell, first tackle off the board at pick 13. The Chargers are very, very happy.
And I'd bet that doesn't happen.
Fall that far?
Yeah. I can't see either of them really falling that far. I think teams would move up if they start to be there at the 9, 10, 11 spot.
Yeah, I think
Well-
all those teams could be trade opportunities for some of these championship teams that are in the 30s or 20s.
I would say if I'm the purple at 14 and Sewell's on the board at 10, I'm starting to make calls. Because if you could move up and get, as Twitter would say, a generational talent like him by giving up, I don't know what you'd give up, a first this year, maybe a first next year, and some of your
If it's 4 spots and you're not moving into a top 5 pick, you should.
Yeah, they still get pick 14. I mean, you could probably move like a net future second or third this year or something like that.
or move a bunch of your middle round picks this year with number 1 or something. But I think it'd be worth it nonetheless. The Vikings with pick 14, after seeing Penei Sewell go off the board, are going to run up to the podium and submit their pick for Rashawn Slater. And they're happy about it. And I'm happy about it. Any offensive lineman they draft in the first round, and I'm okay with it. So,
Well, this works out well for the Patriots because they had a guy drop to them that they've been staring down the board, and a lot of people in their fan base want this guy on their team, and that's Travis Etienne. They're going to take a running back.
First round
No,
running
I'm just
back?
kidding. Don't put that down.
Oh,
They're
I
going
was gonna.
They're going to be taking Mac Jones. Jones is going to the Patriots. He's not going to be like Brady, but he's Brady-esque in the sense that he's more of a stature, stand in the pocket passing quarterback. He's not going to scramble, can maybe get out a little bit and get you, just outside the pocket to make throws, but he's not going to burn you with his feet. He's accurate, and with the weapons they put around him, they're thinking that next year he's going to be the guy that's going to be taking over after Cam, maybe even halfway through this year. So Patriots are happy to take
The next Tom Brady.
Mac Jones, the next TB.
Big shoes to fill in New England.
Was that MC10?
Yep.
Branding.
So we're calling him.
Yep.
Cardinals would have loved to have been able to take a cornerback, but a lot of the ones that left might be a little bit of a reach. I do like the guy out of Northwestern, though, as well as Asante Samuel Jr. I just don't like him at 16.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to solidify your offensive line, give your quarterback a little more help, and go Elijah Vera Tucker here.
Solid.
They
guard.
drafted Josh Jones, I think it was last year. He was
In
a
like the third round.
Third round, yeah. Because he was a guy that was talked about as being a potential first rounder, and he slid to the third.
Did he just not pan out there?
He's just 1 year in the league as a lineman, and sometimes it doesn't always go great. Garrett Bowles is the perfect example of that. With Denver, he was horrible for like 3-4 years, and now he's an all-pro tackle. It's with linemen, it's just a crapshoot.
So would they consider moving him to the right or putting him down at guard
I don't think he started left tackle.
last year?
Yeah, they have the Florida guy that's still playing it. That they
Josh
drafted.
Jones, you're talking?
Yeah, Josh Jones wasn't their starting left tackle.
No,
last
he
year.
was not.
I like Vera Tucker there. Definitely. Maybe would have taken a running back.
I think the Cardinals are primed to take a running back to replace Drake.
We have big time lobbying going on already for a running back, and we're only at pick 17. Do the Raiders take a running back to pair with
Oh.
Jacobs and
The newly signed Drake.
Drake and Josh.
and just torpedo my Josh Jacobs fantasy stakes in the Dynasty League?
I think it's only fair that they take one here and then they trade up to 18
and
take
take
another
another
one.
one. Josh Harris and Etienne back to back. No, they're really flirting with either going with a flashy wide receiver again, which they would love to do. I mean, who wouldn't? Or some offensive linemen to replace some guys they've lost over the offseason. And I think with Darisaw sliding down here, that's a prime candidate, and they would probably take him. I just want to mention it. They were thinking really hard about Rashad Bateman, a real big physical guy to pair with Ruggs. They'd love it, but they're going to take Darisaw here at 17.
Is this Gage's Rage or auto pick?
Who's on the top? of the
That's not
board?
auto pick. Hey,
The top player available.
Every
Christian
single
Darisaw.
Not a bad GM style there.
No, I'm
Take
just
the best player available, man.
I'm just giving
in
Gage
this
shit.
draft.
And
I
it's a
don't think
need
it
for him
happened.
too. So
It's a solid need, and you did the flashy moves already. You got Kenyon Drake, you got Jacobs, you got Ruggs last year. Protect your guys, man.
Do you guys like Darisaw or Tevin Jenkins more?
I think I like the Michigan guy better than both of them.
Michigan guy.
Alex Leatherwood was Alabama.
He's a tackle.
Yeah.
Not Jalen Mayfield. No, keep going. Keep going. I can't remember what his name was. Is he falling down the board?
Mayfield,
That far?
Jalen Mayfield. It's Jalen Mayfield.
Yeah.
I do like Christian Darisaw, honestly. I like him as what is he, the third offensive tackle off the board here, fourth offensive lineman.
Yep.
I like
Yep.
him in that range. I think Samuel Cosme is a guy that's you could potentially see go here too. I personally like Darisaw better, but
Pretty good size for Mayfield.
Big guy.
I like Big Ten linemen.
Big
yeah,
10 line.
I do too, especially if you're
talking.
talking middle round picks like 2, 3,
Third,
4,
fourth.
5.
All right. Now we're up to 18. We have the Dolphins back on the clock. I think Scott secured both these picks for this team here.
I'm going to say that the Dolphins with
Pitts in the bag. They
Yeah.
already got the stud tight end.
I know who he wants.
this is really, really filthy, and I'm going to do it because I'm fucking drafting for them. The Miami Dolphins with pick 18 are going to draft Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota.
Homer pick.
That is filthy. That's like drafting Le'Veon Bell in the third round.
And the reason that Rashad, shut the fuck up. The reason that Rashad Bateman is such a filthy addition is because you're bringing 2 first-round rookie playmakers into an offense with Tua Tagovailoa, and the Miami Dolphins still have plenty of picks to add as far as to help out the rest of this team. I was thinking about taking Kwity Pie, but we'll go with Rashad Bateman.
So that brings me up for the football team at pick number 18. I was looking at Tevin Jenkins here. They need a tackle. I like that. But that defense is so damn good, and they just want to make it even better.
Add another first-round pick.
Not on the offensive line. They're going to go with JOK, Jeremiah Owusu Karoma. Not 100% sure how to say it.
Flashy pass rusher.
He's a very he's not really a pass. He can rush the passer.
Okay.
But he can do just about anything on the field. He's the second best linebacker outside of Parsons, and he can be used as like I think they even say it on there like a pseudo safety, so you can move him kind of back, playing coverage. You can have
Kind of a poor man's Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. He's very athletic. He's very fast too. I think he'd fit in really well in that defense. You get the line going after him, send him on the blitz. He can also cover, make that defense like unstoppable.
Anthony Barr-ish.
Yes, I would say so. Especially the draft profile coming out of college. Barr's not
Was he
really
more of a rusher in college.
They used him a lot. They used him all over. But the thing is, if you're an athlete like Barr in college, you're going to be used as a pass rusher. You just are.
I think JOK is a little bit more. He's better at coverage than Barr is. So that's what I'm taking.
Barr's had some pretty good showings in coverage, though. I don't want to rip on Barr's coverage too much. He does a pretty good job with running backs out of the backfield, but that's a whole nother animal.
Are you the GM of the football team? Or am I the GM of the football team? And
Brandon's pick is in.
It is not a title I hold proudly because they have a lot of issues in their organization.
Based on their team
There's a change
strengths,
coming.
based on their team strengths and the position you drafted, it seems like you just called the GM of the football team and took the guy that he told you they would probably take. Because why not add another first rounder to that front seven?
You might as well. Like I said, build that defense. Make it nasty. Defense wins championships.
I like it.
Chicago Bears 20. I think this might be the first big reach that I'm going to make, but they
Kyle
do.
Trask.
No, they
Kellen.
need
Is it Kellen Mond?
cornerback.
Kellen Mond.
Okay.
So they're going with the kid out of Northwestern, Greg Newsome II, big guy. Might not even be a reach. He might be in that 20 range, just the high end of his range, but they're going to skip their other needs, get those later in the draft, and go with a cornerback first round to replace Kyle Fuller.
I think that's a wise pick.
And then the Colts are up at pick 21. Looking at some really good edge rushers. The defense kind of was abysmal last year, and that division is wide open.
I don't think their defense was abysmal.
Colts defense is a top 5 defense in the league, and I'll stand by that.
What?
Oh, yeah.
They lost. No, they got Rhodes back. He
Rhodes
re-signed,
is back, but they lost some guys, right?
I don't think so. They still have Leonard. They got Buckner.
They lost a linebacker, but I think he was cheap.
How about the D-tack or Buckner still there?
Yeah, they signed him to a long deal.
Hey, man, you draft who you want. This
I know.
is your pick.
I'm still getting an edge rusher. I feel like they were flashy. They need some consistent pass rush.
Who's he going to take?
We're going to go with Kwity Paye.
There you go.
The Michigan edge rusher, he looked really good on his pro day. He's going to be a solid pro defensive end.
A little bit undersized from what he was listed at.
You can put on size. But these guys are
Their
so young. How
height.
old is he?
How tall does it say he is? Not how high is he?
6'4".
Yeah,
Well,
measured in at 6'2".
Those are
at
two
his
different questions.
pro day.
He measured at 6'2".
He measured in at 6'2", so they had kind of the D forward body style more than.
Yeah, 6'2"
The
is
big
a little
guy.
small for an edge rusher.
Is he like
But
Snoop?
Brandon
is-
Graham had a fine career and he's shorter.
Yeah, it's
Another
not,
Michigan guy.
he can definitely succeed. It's just it's a little small when you have what is Hunter? He's like 6'5". Isn't Khalil Mack like 6'4", 6'5" too? I mean, they're bigger guys.
Yeah.
Smaller in today's age, but I like the pick.
Solid guy. Colts are happy.
Tennessee is the one team that's taken probably the biggest step back of all the playoff teams from last year. They've lost a lot, and they need a lot. And I think Tennessee, this is a tough pick for me, but I think Tennessee is going to draft they need an edge rusher big time. And I think they're going to go Jalen Phillips because of the tape that he put out as pro day. And they need somebody dynamic on that defense. So give me Jalen Phillips to Tennessee at pick 22.
He did have, he had concussion issues in college
I think so.
and
Yeah.
retired and once already. So hopefully that doesn't become a thing. But he was, reading, and as far as a high school athlete, was one of the most dominant high school athletes there ever was. Number one coming out in his class.
Dang.
He is a guy that could go as high as high teens, 13, 14, 15. He could go as low as a second round pick. His range is wide.
Click on number 27 there. Let's see what Jason Oway's height is. He had a really, really good pro day, 6'5". I don't know if he measured in at that. Like Star said, it's not 100% accurate, but the dude ran like a 4.35 40 time at his pro day.
Nice.
At a defensive end at 257 pounds. Saleh wants somebody who's going to be able to get after the quarterback. They just drafted their quarterback, so they got somebody on offense. They signed Corey Davis. I'm sure they have other guys. Denzel Mims. Do they still have Jamison Crowder? Might still be on that
I think so.
offense. So they're taking away with a bullet. They're excited to take them. Like, you can't teach speed, but you can teach the rest of it.
No way. They're taking away.
Away. They are taking them.
It says he is best scheme fit as a 3-4 outside linebacker too, which is what Saleh runs.
It's like I'm a GM in the waiting.
If you're the Jets, you got to be fired up about that draft so far. You get your quarterback on offense and you get an edge rusher on defense. If you hit on both those things, you're well on your way in your rebuild.
A booming edge
Without
rusher,
a
too.
doubt.
Yeah.
He's on his way up. He's
Yeah.
rising draft boards after his pro day.
They have
Which-
missed on some pass rushers in
Quinnen
New
Williams.
York.
Well, they've missed on a lot in New
North
York.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Copeland or whatever his name was. I don't know. So
Haven't heard
Gage
of
has been talking this up all draft.
Oh,
and
he's doing it.
He's finally convinced me. I think I'm going to do
Yes.
it.
Let's go.
For number 24, the Steelers are selected Najee Harris. I don't think the Indianapolis Colts defense was abysmal, but I think the Steelers run game was abysmal. And this might help them turn that around and help out their wide receivers as well.
And they still have Hayward, right?
For defensive line,
Yeah.
Cam Hayward, I think
Yeah.
so.
I think they signed him to a longer deal. TJ Watt. They lost Bud Dupree.
Which is a big loss, but you can't afford him.
Yep.
No, that's a solid pick for Pittsburgh. They're
I don't know why I was talking defense. They drafted a running back.
Pittsburgh, their best
What-
chance at a
where
Super
did I
Bowl
even go with
next
that?
year is Najee Harris. But I don't think even adding him makes them a very good betting odd to win the Super Bowl next year.
Do you think it takes the pressure off Big Ben to the point where he doesn't have to throw maybe 56 times in a playoff game?
I don't think it really matters because I don't think Big Ben is really that good anymore, to be honest. And he's not the type of guy that takes care of his body well to where he's going to age well. I think when he hits his decline, it's going
He
to be
does
really
the
fast.
TB12 method.
with cheeseburgers.
What TB12 is
Yeah,
that?
dude, ain't on that fucking
This
vegan
is
shit.
Avocado ice cream minus the avocados.
He gave up.
Minus the avocado.
He gave up porn.
Big
That
Ben
good
kid?
for him. Good
Yeah.
for him.
Ooh.
might have explained a little bit of the downfall in his play. but
We'll get to that in the BudHole After Dark episode.
All right, so I'm up with the Jets, or sorry, the Jaguars. I think after
Are they going
Trevor
to panic
Lawrence-
and take Etienne?
no. James Robinson is definitely they're gonna
Okay.
give him a couple more years.
That's
I mean,
fine, dude.
they may not believe in him all the way, but they're definitely looking at probably a wide receiver, maybe an offensive lineman. You want to protect or give your guy weapons. I think this Cosme is a solid option.
He started, I think, 34 out of 35 college games. I think he's played on both sides of the ball, too, both right and left tackle. So,
Versatile guy.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a good
6'7".
player.
He's got the size. Yeah, I'm gonna take Cosme here. Jenkins is up there, but Oklahoma State guys, I don't know about.
I actually like that pick a lot.
Protect your investment in the number one pick.
And then they still have a pick in 7?
Well,
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
they would be.
Yeah. They drafted
201.
again at 33.
So they
so
could
Take
still get
somebody
an
on the
awesome-
defense or whatever. Absolutely.
Yep,
so they
wide
now have
receiver.
Cam Robinson and Samuel Cosme as their bookends. That's a pretty nice little tackle pair.
two very solid young guys.
We're now looking at the Cleveland Browns, who mostly on this team, they need secondary help and somewhat of a force up the middle. God, I'm just feeling really flashy tonight.
Flashbacks to last Monday.
I'm having hot flashes.
I knew
Yeah,
I
it
should
was a hot
have. I
flash.
should have put down a tarp, and I fucking knew it.
Oh man.
This is me pulling up the draft. Can I get a minute, please?
Yes, time is out.
All right, well, should we recap a little bit?
Yeah, we can go through a recap.
So you scroll down the other side.
Yep, I'm an idiot. First time. So our top 10 went like this. Trevor Lawrence going to Jacksonville, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields wrapping out the top 4 of being quarterbacks. Then Jamar Chase went back to his LSU homeboy in Cincinnati. Kyle Pitts was pick 6. I think that was probably the first real flashy out there pick. But it's a solid fit there. Detroit taking Micah Parsons, and then a little run of cornerbacks, rounding out the top 10 with Surtain first, Horn, and then into Farley.
Yeah, 3 of them in a row, but it's a domino effect. When you see one player style go, we saw 4 quarterbacks,
Just like the
we got
quarterbacks
3
to start.
cornerbacks. Like you'll see tackles, a stretch of tackles, maybe not back to back to back, but you'll see maybe 3 and 5 picks or something like that. People are afraid to lose their guy.
Yep. Yeah, that it becomes a hot commodity once they start going. And we see that here with wide receivers and tackles, like you're saying, in the next 10 picks. Again, we could maybe see some trades, but a lot of these picks are, I think, really good picks. I don't see anyone reaching too hard. Maybe the Chargers, but Sewell's, no. Those are all solid picks. Bateman, maybe being a little reach at 18.
I'd say that's probably the biggest one so far.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a terrible pick, man. Miami's definitely looking for weapons with Tua. And then looking at the next 20.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah. I just
The heavy breathing.
I'm really nervous
the
about
unsureness.
I'm really nervous about the 2 guys. Really, it's down to 3, but I think I got the guy.
Yeah, well, you're
Which
about
side
to
of the ball?
ruin your clock time.
So the Browns
And
right
it
now
turns out number 27 is on the clock because the Browns missed their pick.
are looking at either Christian Barmore, who I really like out of Alabama. I like him for a team that, like, if he was to go to Tampa Bay, I think that's a great fit. He's not a guy that can be on the field for all 3 downs right now. So I don't love him to Cleveland. You look at Trevon Moehrig, who I think is a great fit, but I think the guy that they're going to draft is a guy that can be the true quarterback of this defense, and they need one. I think they're going to take Zaven Collins, Tulsa linebacker, with this pick. He's a guy that is very good on a multiple defense, which the Browns can run a multiple defense with their front 7. They are very versatile. He's a guy that could have 150 tackles a year for them, be the quarterback of the defense. He's a 4-year starter. I love Zaven Collins, and I like him a lot to go to Cleveland at pick 26.
And I know you mentioned Moehrig there, but they did just sign Josh Johnson. They have Grant Delpit coming back after his Achilles injury. And they do have, was it Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward? So as their cornerbacks. I mean, they
got options.
They have a secondary. I like Zaven Collins there a lot.
A quarterback transfer to linebacker. He's definitely got some football IQ that'll help.
Yeah, and I think he'll help the Browns have a lot of playmakers on defense, but I think he'll help create an identity for that defense.
He's a freak too.
Yeah.
Never hurts to be athletic.
Well, the Ravens are up now at 27. They're a little upset that Rashad Bateman went so early.
Bateman's not, though.
No, the
Definitely
wide
not.
receivers don't want to sign there. They did sign Sammy Watkins recently. However, scroll up a little bit. Are we at the top of that draft board? No, we still have a little bit of room up there. They are going to go ahead and take an edge rusher and take Azeez Ojulari because they lost Yannick Ngakoue and what was the other guy? What was his name again?
Suggs?
No, he went to the Patriots.
Judon. Matt Judon.
Yeah, Matthew
So
Judon.
they lost 2 of their starting edge rushers from last year. That's going to hurt. They got to replace that to keep that defense solid. So Ojulari is going to be their pick at 27.
One thing that was sneaky is Garrett Wolf, defensive end for the Ravens, was on with Colin Cowherd like a month and a half ago. And he said he doesn't think that losing Ngakoue or Judon is going to be the end of the world for that defense, because when they get into third down situations, they blitz a lot. They don't depend on their defensive ends to create pressure alone.
Make moves and
Yeah. But you still need pass rushers.
You still have first and second down.
Correct.
So now
Saints.
Saints.
For a team that was in the second round of the playoffs last year, has a lot of needs. Like, they're cap strapped and needy everywhere. There's some issues going on with Marshawn Lattimore, I think I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
negotiations.
he
No.
got in legal trouble.
yeah, so they might be without him for a couple games, and who knows how serious it actually is. Could be more than that. Cornerbacks right now available: Eric Stokes, Asante Samuel Jr. I don't know if I'm ready to go with any of those. The number one safety is still on the board. They do have two decent safeties right now, but Malcolm Jenkins is getting older and might not have that many years left in him. So I think they're taking Trayvon Moehrig right now out of TCU.
I like that pick to them.
Pair him
Like
with
you're
Marcus
saying.
Williams.
A lot of holes, a lot of places to
Yeah,
fill.
they could almost go best player available.
Jenkins could be a cut candidate too. If
Yeah,
they're going to draft a guy this high, it's possible that he's not on the team.
yeah.
Gage's
All right.
Rage.
I'm up with the Green Bay Packers. I don't know how I drew that short fucking straw, but here it
I
is.
planned it out this way. I counted it out. I'm like, Gage's Rage gets the Packers.
So I mean, if I'm picking this, where are the kickers at? But
There's some quarterbacks still available.
They can-
Kellen Mond.
Trade for Chase Claypool.
uh,
First round
it's a
trade.
slight dig. I like that. No, I think they're looking at tackle, offensive lineman, trying to protect Aaron Rodgers. Jenkins being here, what's the deal with him? He's sliding down the board.
By no fault of his own. He's a nice sized player. He has some good get up to him. He's a big body. He's not a bad player at all.
He's projected as the Draft Network's 18th top player.
Yep. Yeah. Oklahoma State, though, those guys are kind of crazy. I think they'd be insane to reach past him, though. I think they got to take Jenkins here at pick 29.
All based off of the wide receiver, or who are you basing this off of?
Who's the quarterback? Wasn't there a quarterback there that was pretty crazy? Was that
Mason
Money
Rudolph?
Mayfield? Or Money?
Manziel,
He was
Texas A&M.
Texas. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they're still all
They did.
crazy.
They had the one
just
who
in that area.
They had
They're
Justin
all
Blackman.
crazy.
He was crazy.
Oh, yeah, there
but
we
they
go.
had Des Bryant before that.
Oh,
GM
he's
that's
crazy.
what I meant.
No,
Is Dez.
GM Gage's Rage.
They're all crazy.
Oklahoma State. They got some crazy people out there. Wild.
Wait, did Mayfield was Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Okay.
James Washington, I think, is from there.
You mean
Buffalo
Manziel?
Bills.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, football. Giant football.
Yeah. Mayfield is the tackle from Texas that we just took in the draft here.
Or it's
Gotcha.
Baker Mayfield.
No.
Didn't know if that's where you were going with it.
Wait, where did Baker play?
Oklahoma is where he finished.
Not Oklahoma State.
So you could have been thinking that.
No. Definitely not. All right. And the biggest Bills fan of the podcast is up.
Some bullshit.
Scott.
The Bills are
You
excited
have-
about this pick.
You've been the Bills fan for so long.
I know.
You have the best Bills references.
And it just so happens that Brandon helped me out here and threw me a bone and gave me the pick for the Bills.
Had to help him out.
The Bills are excited about this pick because they need to get more dynamic on their team altogether. And they're going to get more dynamic with this pick when they draft Gregory Rousseau, a defensive end from Miami, and plug him into that defense. They're excited about him.
He just had his pro day today too. And I think it was a nice little
It was.
nice little spout for him.
All of the Miami defensive players showed out today, which
Hey.
is good for Miami.
He ran like a 4.56 or something. And Jalen Phillips is the other Miami guy, right?
There's another one too.
Quincy Roche.
Yes. No, there's
Roche.
another one too.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other guy's name was.
But yeah,
All right, Kansas City. They're frustrated with Green Bay. They said Tevin Jenkins was our guy.
Hell yeah. I made a good pick.
Why did Lambeau take him from us? So now they need to protect Carson, or not Carson Wentz. I was looking at North Dakota State. God, they need to protect the Carson Wentz
Can you not think of this
Carson
man's
Wentz
name?
light. They need to
No,
protect Carson Wentz light.
No, I'm trying to think of the right word. A poor man's Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
Patrick
Carson
Mahomes.
Wentz light.
That's
Yeah.
what I was looking for.
A watered down Carson Wentz.
There we go. And they're going to take Carson Wentz's alumni. They went to the same school. Dylan Radune's offensive tackle is going to be the left tackle. Step in for Eric Fisher. They're going to have Radune's. They're going to have Thuney. And then they're probably going to have other guys on that line too, although it doesn't really seem like it right now.
6'5", 300. That's a good size tackle.
Yeah, he's a solid player. He protected Lance there while Lance was playing. So I think he's a solid pick there. I would have preferred Jenkins, but I think I like Radune's over like Eichenberg, and there's a couple other guys.
Is
farther
Radune's
down.
really
Mayfield.
that good though? Because Trey Lance called all the blocking assignments at the line.
I'm
So
not
he
gonna
was
lie.
pretty much telling Radune's just who to block.
He was kind of running for his life a lot too.
So
Well,
Carson-
because he had to.
Carson Wentz light better get used to Super Bowl. What was last year's Super Bowl? 54?
5, yeah.
5?
I don't even
5-5
know what
last year.
podcast we're on.
This is 210.
Because Dylan Radune's is kind of like
210. No one thought we'd make it to 210.
Dylan
Here we are.
Radune's
Look at
favorite
us
dance
now.
move is the turnstile. So get ready there, Patrick Mahomes or Carson Wentz's little brother who's not as good at anything but still thinks he's awesome.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers picking 32. They're probably in the best position right now. They're bringing back all 22 starters across the offense and defense. Yeah, they have some age at some place, but they're still good right now. They could do best player available and build for the future or draft a need. I think right now it almost works both ways with Christian Barrymore sitting there. I think they're going to take a D tackle, maybe the eventual replacement for Ndamukong Suh after next year. But that's the route they go. They get a best player and need.
They're going to get some nasty on that D
All
line
in
to go
one.
with Sue.
Yeah,
And that's BudHole Mock Draft 2.0.
If you didn't watch the whole thing, we'll post it and you can check it out. Let us know if you liked the picks or didn't like the picks.
outside of, let's say, Trevor Lawrence, because obviously he's locked in there at number 1. Who was the best pick at their spot, and who was the biggest reach at their spot?
I think I'll start. I think Sewell at 13
Is the
was
best
probably
value.
the best value. And I think Bateman was the biggest reach. And the fact that no other wide receivers went after the big 3 and then Bateman, pretty wild.
Yeah, Sewell to fall to 13 is very unlikely. But without doing trades, I think these 7 through 10 teams look a lot different on draft day.
Yeah, it can definitely change, especially if there's a quarterback that falls to that spot. The Patriots could trade up to take Mac Jones.
Yeah, maybe San Francisco's not lying. Maybe that's their target, and then all of a sudden there's trade ups for Fields or Lance.
We're all cool with those top 4 being QBs. That's not a crazy reach.
I just think it's becoming more and more evident, especially with the Niners trading up to 3, that there's going to for sure be 3 quarterbacks taken. And if there's 3, looking at there's being a 4 or 5 quarterback first round draft, it's not ridiculous to think that there would be another quarterback taken right after them.
very fair. I like it a lot.
The Falcons, I can see going a different. They could
Yeah.
trade out. I could see that.
That's
happening.
the one that kind of bothers
Or draft
me.
Penny Sewell. He could go as early as 4 to the Falcons.
Or 2 to the Jets.
I don't think he would go to. Well, he could, but they just drafted a first round offensive lineman last year, Becton. So
And he played well, too.
yeah,
But Sewell's generational. Like you just plug him in wherever. You can put him at
can't
wide
say
receiver.
Any offensive tackle is generational. You know who else was
None of them are
generational?
sure things.
Fucking guy the Vikings
Matt
drafted.
Khalil?
Third overall.
Matt Khalil.
Yeah. He moved.
He's a
Smith
generational
over to-
player.
So
Smith
when they
played right tackle because
Well, the
Khalil
Vikings-
is too good.
Vikings ruined his career.
let me ask you guys this while we're in the draft talk. When you guys hear that blue chip player, what is that in your perspective?
Day 1 starter.
Yeah, day 1 starter. So if you look at this draft board right here, almost the top
10 should be
even more than that. I think in this draft, because it's a pretty deep draft, I think your top 15, 16 players are blue chippers.
But it doesn't pan out all the time.
No.
Akuda was a blue chipper who
Yeah.
did not
didn't play
perform.
well. Yeah,
I think they
But
said
he's still
He
in
was
his first
injured
year.
too.
it's still like of the top, I don't remember the exact numbers, but of the top 10 picks, like 4 out of the 10 bust almost, or are considered busts where they barely play. So if you look at the top 10 picks here, who would be the 3 or 4 that you would say has got the most bust potential? I don't know. I think they all look great, but I'm also high on them. You think Pitts has bust potential?
The tight end position is a hard one to transfer from college to the pros. He almost plays more wide receiver than a tight end.
That's why I don't think he's bust potential. That's why I think he's pretty solid.
What I would do is I would take one of the QBs and one of the corners for sure.
Yeah,
One of them's going
I
to
would
bust
too.
at least.
I would-
If
Zach
not
Wilson.
two of the QBs.
I would take 2 of the quarterbacks as busts, and I would
Mhm.
take.
One of
Honestly,
the-
I think I would take J.C. Horn. I don't want to pick on guys. I'll say
Yeah.
one of the corners, 2 of the quarterbacks, maybe Micah or maybe Pitts.
Out of Jamar Chase, Waddle, and Smith, who's most likely to bust?
I think Waddle.
I want to say the Heisman winner. It all depends on where they go, though. It totally writes the career, you know.
I think if Jamar Chase goes to Cincinnati, that dude's in for a Hall of Fame career,
Yeah.
barring injury.
It
Pair,
could be just so
yeah,
good.
pair him
Burrow
with Joe
again.
Burrow. I think
T.
Waddle
Higgins will
just
be mad.
Waddle
No,
has
Higgins
been
will excel in that too
injured.
again, man.
and we don't know exactly how he's going to come back from that. He tried to play in the championship game and he was in there for like 2 plays and then
Everyone was commenting saying,
no pun intended, but he waddled right out of the game.
That was 100% intended.
You did that on purpose.
That's total pun intended.
You would
He
have
did it
never
on
used the word
purpose.
waddle if you weren't talking about him. You can't say no pun intended.
That's what pun intended means. Okay, gotcha. Now I understand. I think he's got the highest bust potential.
I wish
the
we could
3
see the
wideouts.
list. Is there anyone here that you think is a for sure first rounder that didn't go? Like ETN? Not too.
I think
No.
Terrace, if Bateman goes 18, I think in the next 14 picks, Terrace Marshall would be a pick in the 20s.
I do think there are some wide receivers that have good potential to go in the first.
Yeah.
I
Tony.
think Mayfield will go in the first too.
Yeah.
that tackle out of
Offensive
Michigan.
tackle. Yeah,
You
I
think he would go over the guys that we took towards the end? Jenkins, Raduns.
I think he'll go over Raduns. Yeah,
I do too.
Okay.
The Steelers could be a prime to take him too. They need a tackle. They lost
Instead of the running
Alejandro.
back.
Yeah. The Steelers going running back, like,
I like it.
I don't.
I think they need. That's a desperate need, and they seem like they're always trying to get those playmaking
Well,
offensive weapons.
And that team for decades has been
Bell.
solid defense and a bell cow running back. Like that's what they want.
Yep. They're old school.
Plus, when Ben retires, they're going to have a quarterback come on after that. And if you have a solid running back that can carry some of that pressure for him,
Huge.
Harris versus James Conner, like Harris is hands down better.
He does it all too. I think Harris and ETN are going to be solid running backs.
Harris is more like
Traditional.
Jonathan Taylor,
yeah.
whereas Etienne's more like Dalvin Cook. That's how I would compare.
Calvin
Kamara.
Kamara.
that's
Kamara's
what I
fair.
see.
That's fair.
Etienne's like such a good pass catcher. He's going to be very good in today's NFL.
Jamal
Definitely.
Charles.
Sean McCoy,
All of them.
CJ2K.
Danian Tomlinson.
CJ2K. Has he done or
Now, Chris
Oh.
Johnson retired.
or pro days are coming up like
Najee
more and
Harris
more
is
every
more
day.
like Cadillac.
Etienne
Williams.
had his pro day already.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was
Uh,
his 40 at? You know?
I'm not sure. I think Clemson had theirs a couple weeks ago.
I don't believe any of these 40 times. I need the combine 40 times. Everyone's so fast this draft.
It does seem a little out of this world. The linemen, the 260 plus pounders running the 4.3s.
He was just under 260, 257. So that's believable. I don't know if I buy Farley as 428. If that's true, I feel like we would have heard a lot more about that.
Anyone
It's just-
hitting the 4.2s is insane.
Is it always
Exactly.
considered unofficial at these pro days since they
Yeah.
don't have like the
Correct.
lasers and everything?
Correct.
Yep.
And you got to remember too, it's team officials that are clocking this. So if you don't think they're not going to help out those players a little bit, you
Well-
crazy girl.
Little closer reaction.
So
All right, well, we'll probably get one more of these in before the actual draft.
at least one. Yeah.
Maybe some more trades. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, let us know how we did. Thank you to Blue Collar Media Group.
And with that,
Go jerk off.
Boy.
Check out our website, www.officialbudhole.com. We're on all socials at officialbudhole. Please leave us a rating and review on Apple Music. Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
I never recorded.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching.
It's been fun. We've had this solo shot of
Oh,
Gage
dude,
the
you had
entire
Pornhub
time.
up.
Yeah.
Did we? Oh,
You forgot to close it.
Oh, dude, close out of the. Stop the live stream. Stop the broadcast.
Stop it!